Hello everybody, my name is RPG and welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force 3. So, full disclosure, before starting this battle, where I cut the last episode, I used the Egress spell so I could get out basically, and all I've really done is I've moved a couple of healing items around. So, Symbios has now got a potion just in case, and I moved some of the medical herbs around from, I can't remember who they were on, but Obright's got a herb and so does Julian. I've also taken the Protect Ring that Danteres picked up and put it on Julian. So before I start moving the refugees around, I just want to very quickly go over the kind of the lay of the land here. So we've got our force up here, and there's a whole lot of Estonian soldiers in the way. All the way on the other side of the map are these refugees, and they are being chased by this group of soldiers here. And we don't want them to catch them and get killed. Dotted away over here, we've got some actual dwarves, miles away from Dwarf Valley, but they're a new enemy. We've also got we've had the Imperial Mage before. The only other new enemy is the Military Patrol Commander, which is the boss of this map. So, the way the refugees work is, for each one that you keep alive, you gain 10 experience points on the entire party. So if you manage to keep all 5 alive, that is a half a level up for everybody else. The only other thing is, if we manage to keep them all alive as well, we get a special item in Scenario 3, but it's mostly optional. So the problem is that they can't move very far, and this child one on the back is the most irritating. So really what I'm going to aim to do is to always check her movement, and make sure she's able to move her farthest, and everyone else I'll just move around her as best I can. So everybody else is going to charge down towards, well I say everybody else, we're going to have to split in two here. So Danteres I want to move to this one. I'll come back to why I'm moving him here in a sec. Symbios goes there. So basically the way it works is, to actually save the refugees, I need to send a unit over to this switch to divert another train. Because of the way that the characters are positioned and movement allowances, only 4 characters can actually make it over the rail lines and actually defend the refugees, and that is Danteres, because he will make it over first, Symbios, Julian and Obright. Everybody else, they can't make it over, so I'm going to be using them to kind of just deal with the rest of the enemies as I go. So Masculine can move over here. The only other issue with this, and this is why I've Egressed out really quickly so that I could move some healing items around. I can't send Irene or Grace over, so the squad that goes over are going to be completely devoid of healing, outside of healing items. So this battle is probably one of the most frustrating in this entire scenario, if not the entire game really, because actually keeping all of the refugees alive is very, very difficult. There is an item that can come in very handy for this. It's actually hidden on this map, and I'm going to make sure that I grab that, but I'm going to worry about doing that after I've done my best to save all the refugees. The main issue is that by the time they're actually able to get to that gap and start crossing the tracks, unless you've got your whole squad down there ready to pull those 2 snipers that you can see at the top of the screen and the soldier, they just turn and kill them. And the refugees all die in 1 hit, apart from the guy with 13 health. He can just about take 2. But it's not ideal. So, we've got everybody moved around. You know, get to sit and watch a bunch of trains move, which is brilliant. The other frustrating thing about this battle is the train animation takes so long. And now that we've gone through the first turn, we've actually got the joys of watching it twice because there's 2 trains. So this is quite likely to be a fairly long fight. I am, however, going to make the enemy pay for this, and I'm going to kill every single one of those soldiers. Even the ones on the other side of the tracks. I will get them. I will make sure that they all die for this. Mostly because they're XP, and XP is delicious. So, the next port of call. We wait for it to pan all the way back. These refugees are going to be up here. I'm just going to check the little girl. So she can move in line with that rock. Okay. They're pretty much just going to stay in the exact same formation that they were in before, I think. Right, actually, before I move anybody, I need to make sure I'm not blocking Danteres off. So he's going to be in front of the rock, or next to the rock. That's perfect. You can stay there. Move the child up. So I put Symbios in front of the wrong rock, but in the grand scheme of things it won't actually matter, I don't think. In theory, Danteres should be able to reach that switch now next turn. Yeah. Basically, he's got to reach that switch by the end of the third turn, or you're screwed. He won't be able to divert the second train in time, and you won't be able to save the refugees from all the soldiers. Everybody else is going to have a relatively chill time, just mopping up some snipers and some soldiers. So, I'll just try and get the XP on the characters that need it, I think. So all the snipers will do is chase the refugees. They do very slowly gain on them. Very slowly. I think they move 6 to the refugees 5 or something like that. But it's not a particularly massive problem. So Symbios can take a couple of those, but it's going to be a little bit dicey. Julian can't get any further than this, so he can attack the soldier. We should be able to have our Bright just charge up now and finish this off as well. Right, Grace at level 6, let's leave her there. Mascarin's level 6 as well, so I'm not going to get her to kill the sniper off. I think I'll just leave this one for Irene. And she's will just regen that hit point anyway. Hayward's level 5, so we'll have him hang back ready to start shooting the soldiers. Right, yeah, Albright can just kill that soldier out of the way. As we're going to be taking enough damage as it is really on this fight without having to deal with him lurking around. So the other thing that really complicates this battle is this second train here is going to obstruct our force from getting across to the refugees. There's nothing we can do about this train. Nothing we can do about it at all. But this is the one that we're going to do our best to divert. I think, and I'm somewhat counting my chickens a little bit here, but because Danteres and Symbios are so much faster than... let's see where I can move the girl first. So much faster than the snipers and the soldiers, I should be okay. So this guy can go here. I can go... Actually, where's the child going to go? One behind this guy. Okay. Right, Symbios is not able to cross the tracks. If you try and stop, Benotram just moans at you. So I want to leave him here, because I believe it's in line with this rock where the train stops. Right, where's the girl going? She's going directly behind that guy. She should be okay there. Little girl can go there. Right, Danteres can rush over and flip this switch. And what that's going to do is send the train directly next to him down the other path. So it'll go around that weird kind of mud track bit instead of down the regular line. If we don't do that, it's basically just not feasible at all to save the refugees. You might be able to save one or two with a push, but really we want to be aiming all of them here. The stronger we can get our characters now, because there's going to be quite a difficult section coming up soon, the better off we'll be overall. So they're gaining on them now. They shouldn't reach them next turn, so I should have one more turn to sort this out. Masquerade shouldn't get hit in particular. Okay, so she did get hit quite hard, all things considered, and she is wearing the Protect Bracer. So Julian also can't make it over. I'm starting to think actually that I possibly did need to send all 4 of those over, but never mind. So we'll have Grace hit this guy and soften him up a bit. Yep, I'd say that's sufficiently softened. That's the first special attack that Grace has got with the Ankh. It's a pretty cool laser. I could be wrong, but I think that does bonus damage to undeads. Or at the very least, I think the Ankh weapons do anyway, so it's quite a nice niche for them to have. I got Haywood to 6 now, which is brilliant. Decent level up. He could have done with a point of attack, really, but Haywood is a sort of a tanky, quite a tanky character, especially for an archer, so as long as he gains HP and defense, I'm not too fussed. Right, we'll have Albright chill here. So out of the main, well I say the main squad, out of the people that are going to actually deal with the commander, everyone now is 6 apart from Irene, so I'll try and get her the next couple of kills. And if I start using Grace's mana for her heal spell a little bit more judiciously, I should be able to get her to 7 by the end of this, if not higher. So, this refugee, I could now send over the gap, but I don't want to do that. What I want to double check is, this guy here can technically reach to here. So we'll be able to hit people in the blue. He's the furthest one forward, so as long as I've got everyone moved like to a decent enough spot, should be alright. See, I do kind of want to just chuck this guy here, just at the back. But if I check the sniper's range, oh, they can't reach him actually. We'll risk it. Everybody else, we're going to move around here. Right, somebody else can rush across the tracks. The only other thing that's kind of a little bit frustrating about this battle is some of the refugees have different movement rules, and I can never remember which one it is. Some of them can move really far across the track, some of them cannot move very much at all, and it's just a little bit frustrating. I'm going to put this character here. Dantress charges straight down here. You should be able to reach those and then kind of draw their fire on the next turn. Right, Masquerade, you can chill. Irene, you can rush up, ready to go for that soldier. Right, so I've drawn the soldier away. That's a good start. I am going to need to just charge past him though and get at the snipers. That's the main issue. So they shouldn't be able to reach, no. But the next round, they've got to cross the tracks. Right, Masquerade's definitely going to need topping up after this. Well, I mean, she can take one more hit, actually, but we'll err on the side of caution. We'll send Julian across, and we'll have Albright sneak round in a second as well. We shouldn't really need all 4 characters, actually. Like, I could probably have gotten away with just sending Julian and then leaving Albright, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry. Right, Haywood, you can soften this up a little bit for Irene. I'm not sure she's going to do 9 damage on her attack, so we'll take 2, I think. Right, the fact that these are pulling down here now fills me with a lot of confidence. Because although it's probably going to extend the length of the battle a little, because I am going to kill all of those soldiers on the other side, I might try and use the refugees to stop them getting across the tracks at all. So I think I'm kind of wasting my time sending Albright round here. So, well, I don't know. We'll play it safe. I think I'm wasting my time with him there, if I'm honest, but he might come in handy. He does have more range than, say, Julian, for example, so... And he is carrying a herb, just in case. Right, what I need to double check here is how far back can this sniper go? So the sniper will be able to hit someone here. What I really want to do is have all the NPCs across the track. I could just put this guy here and he's probably going to be safe. Yeah. This guy can go here, and he will be safe. Alright, Symbiote, rush up, and this. Softened up nicely. Right, you can probably see that we can't actually park the characters at all in line with the fence. So this gap, this one to the hit, this one in front of him to the side, no good. So we're going to have him cross the tracks here. No, not there. There. And now I have to pray that I haven't screwed the little girl. Right. This could be a problem. Right. Dantrez is going to need to go here and block this sniper. And that other one shouldn't be able to get around and reach, so it should be okay. Right, Masquerade, I don't want you to attack anything, I want you to just run down there. Irene can start punching this guy. Yeah, I figured she wouldn't quite do enough. Right, he's run off to go stab Julian, because for some reason, Julian has the same kind of AI priority mechanic that Symbios does, because he's a swordsman. And as he's a little bit weaker than Symbios, the AI thinks he'll be a easier target. Well, I mean, technically that's very true, but still not going to help them in the slightest. So the AI desperately wants to kill Masquerade as well, presumably because she's got the lowest health and takes the most damage. Right. The other thing I want to check here, if these guys get across the tracks, they can go really far. So I might be in trouble here. I will top her back up. Because when I come to attack the dwarves, they've got higher attack. And if they gang up on her, she'll get killed. Also, easy XP for Grace, so that's always nice. Hayward, you can just not do anything this time. Right, so how hard this hits Symbios. Because he takes 6. Okay, he gets it for 1. That's not a problem. Gets hit by 6 from the halberd guys. Right, upright. Finish this soldier off, actually. Right, now comes the tricky bit. Because I think I might have put the refugees in a sticky spot. Then again, there does come a point where the soldiers that are chasing them won't actually cross the tracks anymore. And I really want to say that it's this point here, where the train has gotten in the way. So these guys can't move now, the train's blocking them. This guy technically can, but he's safe where he is, nothing that can reach him with a ranged attack. Symbios can go over here. But I think only those front 2 should be able to cross. He's not going to die, but we'll top him up with a herb just to be on the absolute safe side. Right, if I have these 2 refugees run away. Now, the only issue is I'm not convinced this sniper won't just run off and shoot one. And if it does, then it's all been for naught. I probably... Oh, hang on. Oh, please kill him one hit. Oh, no. Right. I guess we'll see now, then. Irene, you can kill this. Ah, perfect. So Irene's learned the Tornado spell, which gives her a little bit of offensive magic. It doesn't do very much damage, but the thing with magic is it generally is more or less guaranteed. Right, so these guys are not going over. Which means I'll have to send people around to go and murder them. That's not a problem. Now I've just got to pray... Oh, never mind. Right, die. You don't get a turn. So at this point, I've won, basically. Those soldiers will not chase the refugees, so they are completely safe. Even after the train has moved out of the way, those other soldiers will just always stay there. So all I have to do now is go deal with the military commander. But I'm going to send my main guys back around, and we're going to kill everything, even the soldiers on the other flank. Because the enemies clustered in the middle, the commander, they won't actually do anything unless you aggro them first. So, I need to remember though, actually, how do I get past? Can I walk around this? You know, I'm not sure that I can. I think I may need to cross the tracks down here at the end. Before I do that though, there is an item tucked away in here. The Gale Ring. Gale Ring is an amazing item. It provides 5 agility and 5 defense to whoever it is equipped on. So, I am probably going to put that on a character I'll be getting at the end of this battle. Because she has the potential to be really strong, but she has a very, very poor start. And then pretty much immediately after that I get another character that is absolutely awful to start with, but has potential to be pretty good if you stick with her. So, I can't cross this at all now. Well, actually, you know, it's a bit on the dicey side, but Symbios and Dantares potentially could just rush over and start killing those. Or, well, if I could kill one of them, then the other could help out. So we'll have Dantares come back. Because they've not completely blocked off the way over. They've left me a gap spare. And if I had Hayward over here, I could move that other refugee and then have him join in, but he's not, so... Right, so where are these guys going? Right, well this is new. I've never seen them do this before. That certainly makes my life easier though, because the more room there is for me to send units over, the easier it will be for me to mop them up. So we'll have Albright rejoin the group in a second. Let's have Hayward hit this dwarf. Find out how tanky they are. They've got a lot more health. Yeah, they take quite a beating as well, actually. Let's find out how hard they hit. Right, pretty hard. Possibly made a mistake here, if that second one runs up. That was lucky. Right, Albright. So, do me a favour. You can equip, for now, this Gale Ring. So 5 defense, 5 agility. Right, we are going to have to wait for this train to get out of the way. And that's going to be quite a few rounds. But, once it's gone, we can murder all those soldiers. And we're in the clear. There are other refugees, I'm just going to have them run away. This guy can stay where he is, this guy can stay where he is. Symbios can chill here, so he's lined up. This refugee can go over here. Go here. I think I'll stop moving them now at this point because they are more or less in the clear. Dantares there. Right, actually, for science, while we're here, what I'm curious about, if we go on status, so Mascarin's Blaze spell, power is 12 and 14. If we go through and find... Well, Grace has got Tornado spell from an item. It's got a power of 9. So let's see how Irene's Tornado spell compares. So Irene's Tornado spell is only a power of 7. So her magical prowess is notably weaker than the majority of the casters. But the fact that she actually has some is a really quite nice bit of utility for her character. Even so, we'll be spending the most of her mana in most battles on casting heal anyway. But it's nice that we've got the option there if need be. So again, I don't quite know why they've moved away, but I am absolutely not complaining. The game doesn't seem to be having a brilliant time trying to work out what to do with them though, it's slowing down a little bit. Right, we'll have Obright move up, and Julian move up. Julian is probably going to be the last one over, especially because he's taken a little bit of damage already. Right, Grace, please heal Hayward. Because I don't really want him to get hit again. Right. Actually, we'll just have him kill this dwarf. We'll play it safe. So in the upcoming enemy pack, we've got one soldier, one dwarf, the boss, and a mage. And really the priority target there is just to kill the mage. Once the mage is done, unless they all gang up on the same target, that can be a bit hairy, but we should be okay. Especially if I send in someone really beefy first. So Obright with his ring on, for example, would be absolutely amazing for it. Right, the refugees skip their turns now. So the boss can stay where he is. This refugee, Dantrez is fine. Right, we've got a second dwarf to start nuking down.
Here I come.
Should bring it low enough that we should be able to bring it down with 2 more attacks. Yeah, easily. Right, Irene, you can have a go. Oh, Irene special. Hits pretty hard. 14 damage. I could be wrong, but I believe that that special attack, if it actually connects, or when it procs, and doesn't kill an enemy, it has a chance to inflict paralysis. So that can be really, really handy. These guys can chill for another turn. Did Hayward get hit again? I think he did, didn't he? Yep. So potentially as well, I could have Irene take the flak. But before I do that, I really want to make sure I'm going to be able to kill that mage. Oh, inspect this rock. Oh, cheeky large missile. Didn't even realise that was on this map. Right, 2 more rounds and we should be clear to just push over there and kill those soldiers. They should be able to move away just to be on the safe side the next round. What I'd really like is a way to pull at least one of these enemies away. But I'm not going to move anyone closer than this. At the very least I know the commander isn't going to move. Alright, now we've got everybody in position. Skipping through these turns and just dealing with the train animation isn't too bad. And we're almost done with the animations. Once this train moves past this point, it just slowly moves off screen and out of the way. So things should speed up relatively soon. We'll have these refugees. What do you mean? Oh, that's not allowed square. Well, go down here then. You can cross the tracks out of the way. Right, that mage now. Potentially, because he's already acted. Ooh, see, I kind of fancy my chances here. In fact, yeah, I'm going to go for it. We'll use Blaze 2 to splash damage onto the dwarf as well.
Here I come.
And now I just got to hope that they don't just kill Masquerin, because that would really suck at this point. Right, the dwarf's pretty low. Right, Irene, come and kill this. Actually, by doing this, I think Masquerin's okay. Because the other squares next to her, two of them are train tracks, which enemies can't stand on. And I don't think the AI will only be able to get one other character around to her. So she's only going to be taking one hit either way. And depending on how slow the dwarves are, Fairy Powder is a pretty good item, so we'll bin the Angel Wing for it. Commander, not going to do anything until we move anyone into range of him. Let's see what the soldier opts to do. Go for Irene, which she shouldn't take much damage. Nope. Get Grace in position. Hayward can kill the dwarf. And, well, I say kill the dwarf. Hopefully kill the dwarf. Not quite. So it will still get an action. Right, this shouldn't do very much damage to Irene either. Well, definitely not if she counters as well. And she'll just regenerate that 2 HP on her next action. Right, this should clear that bit of fencing for me. And the slaughter can begin. There can be no survivors and no witnesses. Right, this guy can get up here out of the way. This guy can get over here. Right, Symbios, you can chill here and hit this guy. It'll be interesting to see if the AI on the soldiers kicks back in now that they'll have targets in range, or if they'll just sit there and wait for me to move up and attack them. Danteres can finish this one off. Really, actually, I should be trying to give these kills to Albright and Julia, but I'll worry about that once I've got them across the gap. Right, Masquerin, hit this guy again.
Here I come.
Her MP growth has been really kind to me so far. So the fact that she's got the longevity to just keep spamming spell after spell after spell is coming in really handy. I kind of don't want Irene to level or to... Actually, you know what? We'll just waste some of her mana. She can heal herself with the 10 XP. And then Hayward or Grace can kill the soldier. While we're waiting for Symbios to Co to do... Oh, okay, so their AI has kicked in. Interesting. We shouldn't be able to get too many more hits on them. Right, that's pretty workable. Right, if she gets stabbed again, perfect. She can heal herself next turn. Right, Albright, if you get over here and attack this soldier. The only problem here is that Julian is not going to be able to reach anybody. Did I think ahead and buy him a knife? Because that would have been pretty good, wouldn't it? No. Right then. So what we'll have you do, you can heal Danteres. The only thing I've got to be careful of here is not letting anyone get surrounded. Grace, you can chill a minute. Oh, didn't realise this guy would panic the instant we get close. Well, I mean, I'll just dispel the illusion now. He won't be surviving. No one will ever live to hear of this black deed because there will be no witnesses and no survivors. And thus Prince Median's name was not tarnished at all. So we got that going for us to kind of build up the old relationship between the Empire and the Republic. I think that the patrol commander might actually start doing things now. If he just kind of sits there and just waits for me to finish him, though, that would be hilarious. Right, the refugees can just... Well, I kind of want to put them all in a group, but there's no real reason for me to actually move them. So, what I kind of want to do here is have Symbios go here. But, like, he really runs the risk of just getting absolutely wrecked. Like, what's his defense? No, that's not what I want to do. I want to look at his stats. 11. And Julian gets hit for 4 and his defense is 50. Yeah, I can't afford to... No, I can't afford to have him sit in the middle and take it all. You can kill this soldier. Danteres can weaken the next one. And then Albright or Julian can get a killing blow on it. It's not worth taking such a massive risk this close to the end of the battle. Right, this might actually kill the soldier, we'll see. Yep. Well, it makes my life a little bit easier, as much as I would have liked the XP to go elsewhere. Right, you can waste some more mana just healing yourself, Irene. I will say, actually, that at the beginning when I said this was a really difficult and quite frustrating battle, this has gone so much smoother than I could have imagined. Right, so the commander's going to do things now. I don't think he's 15 damage worth of pain, but he does certainly hurt a bit. Yeah, that hurts. Right, how much HP? Not HP. Defense does Grace have compared to Masquerin? Because the last thing I want is just Masquerin outright getting one shot. Actually, she shouldn't, because the Bracer puts her on 10. And Grace has got 9. Yeah, Grace is the squishier target. Right, Albright and Julian should be able to just finish these two off between them. And Julian takes 4 damage, so he should be okay. Oh, brilliant. And if they can take them down in 1 round each, spot on. So we've just got that last guy to deal with, and the actual commander. So, Grace, heal yourself up. I think I may need to hang on to... Oh, so level 7 as well. So she's now gained the heal level 2. Brilliant level up. The only difference between heal level 1 and heal level 2, if we have a really quick look on the status. So the power for the heal spell is 19 at both, but the MP cost has gone up. And that's because the heal level 2 spell can be cast at an extra range. So heal level 1, they've got to be in a tile next to you. Heal level 2, they can be 1 additional tile away. Generally speaking, we'll still be using heal 1 for most of the time. But it's pretty useful in a pinch. Right. Move him here. Symbios and Danteres, I don't really need to do anything at this point, so we'll just have them go and try and recoup with everybody else. Masquerain, you can just blaze the sky. He's really not going to last very long. 50 HP sounds like quite a lot, but given that we're going to be hitting him pretty hard, I don't think he's going to stand much of a chance. And Masquerain's just taking a quarter of his health with one move anyway, so we're looking at a round at best on him. Hayward should drop him pretty low after this. Grace can just heal herself again. So just to cover really quickly, the gap there in the fence that you can see where the train is now, there is another gap on the other side. If you really want to kill the Destonian soldiers and they've blocked the pathway that you move the refugees across, if you move characters right up onto the edge of it, anyone with about 6 movement can just about make it over the tracks and run around, but it does take a very, very long time, and you will have to just sit there with the commander attacking you and sustaining through it, and that might not be practical depending on how much of your healer's mana you've burned so far. And whether or not you've even got Irene, it's entirely possible that she doesn't survive the battle in the cargo area, and then you never get her. Decent level up for Julian. The points in agility would have been pretty useful, but we didn't get one. But we've got everyone to 6 now, apart from Albright. With a bit of luck, you should get it at the end of this battle anyway. So this should be the last time we have to deal with the train cutscene. And then, from there it's smooth sailing. The final 2 battles of this chapter are quite a bit easier than this. The end of the chapter battle, the 10th one, so that one can be a little bit tricky, but the one after this is a complete joke by comparison. You know, we'll have Danteros join the fray. I don't think he'll kill that, which means Masquerain might get the killing blow. Okay, this might kill him. We'll see. Oh, not quite. Well, we'll get Masquerain the killing blow anyway, I think, then. Not that she really needs any extra help gaining XP, but it's always nice. I like having powerful wizards. This might push her to level 7, depending on how much XP she gains before the kill. Oh, not quite, but she definitely should then, from getting the XP at the end of the battle. So, what I'm going to do then, I'm actually going to cut this episode here in a second, once this transitions, because there's going to be quite a bit of cutscene after this, and I'd rather that be in its own separate episode. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.